I don't even know how to do this anymore. Okay, this thing on. Hey everybody, welcome to Cleveland. Even though this bedroom looks just like the one we left, I swear we moved. I'm Katie. It has been 2,000 miles and 4 months since my last video, but here I am. It's also my birthday, August 22nd. I know I share it with a couple of you guys out there, so happy birthday to you as well. I don't know, I figured for tradition's sake I would make a video today. I have made a video on my birthday every day for the past, I guess this is the 5th year, and we just got a new computer, so I'm actually able to make videos, and why not start here? In previous years, I've kind of spent my birthday vlog, you know, ruminating on what it means to be turning another year and whatever. At this point, I'm like, I'm 35, like, life goes on. So for my actual birthday today, we are going to spend it with my parents. Mike has the kids at the farmer's market right now just to give me a little bit of a quiet morning. This is one of my favorite things, and I never really get it anymore. Later, we're meeting my parents and going to a old historic cemetery, because isn't that what people do on their birthdays? Go to the cemetery. This one is like very old and historic and beautiful, and it's close to the lake, and there's things like the President Garfield Memorial and other beautiful things, I don't know, horticultural stuff and like wild animals, and it should be really nice. So that's the end of birthday stuff. I do want to do a little bit of like a life update and moving update and stuff. So since the last you saw me, I am not pregnant, let's just put that out there. You know, lots of YouTube moms kind of disappear for a while and then they come back like, voila. No. We left our old house on May 11th. We spent 12 days road tripping across the US to Cleveland here. And I was a little bit nervous about how that road trip was going to go. Traditionally, August doesn't do so well in the car, but it was amazing. It was maybe because my expectations were a little bit low. It ended up just being this like really kind of wonderful, like almost magical time for our whole family. I'm so glad that we did the drive. Highlights were the Botanical Garden in Albuquerque, staying in Denver with family and seeing a bunch of Mike's cousins and aunts and uncles and stuff. Then we stayed in 2 Airbnbs in the Midwest, and I really, really recommend that, Airbnb.com, for sort of, especially for families, I think. Like price-wise, it worked out to be about the same as we would pay for like a kind of standard motel in the US anyway, but it was a way to kind of like stay in a more interesting place and to kind of get to know the locals a little bit more and get a little bit more of a sense of the place. So we stayed with a family in Omaha, and Mike pretty much wanted to just stay in Omaha. Like, he kind of fell in love with it, and we would probably still be there if we didn't have this Cleveland plan going on. We also stayed on a farm just outside of Iowa City in a log cabin. It was very picturesque, very what you imagine in Iowa. And then we stayed with my aunt and uncle in Chicago and got to explore there and see one of my cousins. And then we passed along Indiana Dunes, which is in Indiana, along Lake Michigan, and it's just the kind of place where you're the only person on the beach for miles, and it's just gorgeous sandy beach and blue water and fantastic. And then we were here. While we were in Albuquerque, I actually had the chance to meet a subscriber for the first time. Rita from Florida recognized me as we were eating lunch, and I was admiring her baby. And she came over to the table, and I thought she was going to ask me about like our stroller or something like that, and she said that she recognized me from her videos. And I know I acted like a total weirdo. It was the first day of our trip and like moving on and everything, and YouTube was the absolute last thing from my mind. And actually I had never ever considered that somebody would recognize me or like what I would do or say in that situation. So I know I handled it very poorly. But Rita, it was really nice to meet you, and I'm glad that, you know, you came over and all that stuff, and I'm sorry I was such a dork. We ended up staying with my parents for 6 weeks. I don't know why, but I thought we were going to be there like a week or 2, and we were just going to find a place to rent really fast, but it just didn't work out that way. We looked at lots of dumps, and yeah, it took a really long time to find something that would work for us. But here we are. The middle of July, we moved into a rental house, and it is actually smaller, if not exactly the same size, perhaps smaller than our last house. We were kind of hoping to have a little bit more room next time, but it's cool. You know, it works. We know how to make a small space work. So we're here for a year, and we're trying to, you know, to make it work for us and make use of the space and stuff, but also not invest too much time and energy because it is temporary. I think I'm a lot more of a homeowner type person. I'm having a little bit of a hard time with just somebody else making the decisions about, you know, how to do things and, you know, who is to do them and things like that. I'm just really, we're still thinking that maybe next summer we will buy a place, but we did want to have like a kind of, just give ourselves some time to kind of feel out neighborhoods and school districts and things like that. So this little old house is very cute. It is probably the worst house on a really nice block, so sorry neighbors, but it's a rental. Like I said, it's a rental. That's my mantra. It's a rental. Don't sweat it. It's a rental. We're not here forever. It's not my house. It's not my house. It has no AC and no dishwasher, which is a bit of a bummer, but it does have a laundry chute, and I'm liking that. And the kids haven't yet figured out that they can put other things down the laundry chute, you know? The one major obstacle we are facing right now is that there is lead paint issues. There are lead paint issues in this house. I'm going to do a separate video about that because I feel like it's a really important thing to just kind of talk about anyway, and I've done tons of research and I've got stuff to share. So that's going to be a separate video, that whole deal, that whole experience that we're still currently experiencing. I have been in a forced sort of technological blackout. It's much nicer if you do it on your own, like if you choose to, you know, to step away from technology. I think that's really useful, but I will say it's nicer when you make that choice. So my phone fell in Target onto the floor and cracked into like 1,000 pieces, but I was still able to use it. It was like reading things through a spider web, just totally like hundreds of pieces of glass, whatever it is in there. But it was fine. I was living with it. But then the phone drowned under the stroller in the child's spilled water bottle, and all the little cracks were like, come in water and just kill me. So that's what happened. So I don't have a phone now, which is a little bit weird, not having any kind of like way to communicate. I don't know, we're working on it. Also, we had just a little laptop for the past 6 years or something like that, and it was so completely full that I couldn't even open iMovie, like not let alone upload anything, but I couldn't even like work on it anymore. So baby steps by baby steps, we got to a place where we could get a new computer. So we're kind of like up and running. I think in the next few weeks or so, things will continue to kind of sort themselves out. And I anticipate having a little bit more time in my day to dedicate to some kind of hobby. And that might be YouTube, I'm not sure. So in the absence of social media, we have just been enjoying the heck out of our summer. I had a big list of things I wanted to do with the kids, and we've done almost all of them. Mike and I have just been exploring a little bit on our own. My parents have watched the kids overnight twice now, and those are the first time that happened was the first time we've ever been away. We've ever both been away from Alice since she was born, so in more than 4 years. Going on a real date, like a real date, is awesome. It's great. Cleveland is such an exciting place right now. There's so much like energy, and there's so many interesting things going on. It sort of feels like we're late to the party a little bit, but we're like diving right in and trying to meet people and just get the lay of the land and just get involved, and it's been a lot of fun. So what have I forgotten? We don't have local jobs yet. Mike is still working part-time for his old job, which is really, really nice to kind of have that cushion. But he is getting involved in various projects as a volunteer, and has been like networking and stuff. So he is out, he's working, you know, doing the actual like part-time work stuff, and then also trying to get established here. We don't expect this arrangement to last forever, so there is some, you know, some pressure to kind of like get on a little bit more solid footing job-wise here. I may try to do some kind of separate update on the kids specifically, but Alice had a 4th birthday back in June. She is liking where we are. We like our neighborhood. She's starting to kind of meet other kids and stuff around here. She's been missing her friends back home a lot, or our previous home. I guess I can't call that home anymore. August is 21 months, and he is just talking up a storm and just a little bundle of energy. Both of the kids together are just a handful. Okay. Time out. I'm noticing as I'm editing this that I feel like I'm painting like a little too rosy of a picture, or I'm thinking about it like I'm trying to think in like optimistic terms in my head about this whole process, but I also want to be realistic. Like, I don't want anyone out there to think that moving is easy. Everybody knows that it's super hard. It's pretty sucky. And you know, we've had so many stressful times. Like, I've shed so many tears. We've had so many hard days with Alice. Like, Alice acted out for like 2 months, and it's lonely, and it's like totally disorienting, and it, you know, we're really missing our old home,
and we're trying really hard to stay positive here, but like it hasn't been easy. It hasn't always been this like smooth transition. I just want you guys to know that too.
In the interest of not making this 12 hours long, I think I'm going to try to stop there. I'll say thanks to, there were a few people who sent me messages like over these months that I've been disappeared, just kind of saying like, hi, hope you're okay kind of thing. Thanks a lot. And we're okay. We're more than okay. I've got some celebrating to do. Nice seeing you guys and hope to see you again soon. Thanks for watching.